So it's possible that 2,500 years before the birth of Christ, they built the tallest structure ever made, and that there are underground cities underneath the pyramids. I, for one, find that rather intriguing.
Archaeologists in the Judean desert have uncovered a 2,200-year-old pyramid-like structure, offering new insights into the region's ancient history, with the discovery including rare artifacts from the Hellenistic period.
In the heart of the Judean desert near Nachal Tzohar, an extraordinary archaeological discovery is unfolding. A massive pyramid-shaped structure that has baffled experts and redefined our understanding of ancient history.
The mystery of the Great Pyramids of Giza, you know, the famous ones in Egypt, there's a theory going round, and this is based on high-tech radar technology. They've taken kind of underground pictures using radar.
For our last story today, let's talk about the pyramids. They're massive, they're mysterious, they've been standing tall for 4,500 years, and according to a new group of scientists, they might be hiding something incredible beneath them. Picture a secret underground city, lost artifacts untouched for centuries, hidden knowledge that could rewrite history. Ancient secrets waiting to be uncovered. Basically, it sounds like the plot of every Indiana Jones movie, but before you start packing your bags, there's a catch. This discovery was made by a team of researchers in Italy. They claim their radar scans prove that there's a vast hidden complex below the pyramids, but not everyone believes them.
And there's a theory now that the peaks, the pyramids that we see, may have been just the pinnacles of vast structures that plunged down into the earth more than 2 kilometers. And then in fact what you're seeing there is the tip of massive structures, columns, vast chambers, underground cities, where it is thought that the pyramids planned to retreat in the event of Armageddon. There is definite evidence that there are these huge chambers down there, 263 feet across. That's pretty damn big. These huge vertical columns that go down so far that, if it's true, they go down, they say that these columns may plunge to a depth of 2,125 feet. And that if you add that to the peak of the pyramid, the total height of that structure would be 2,835 feet, which would make it the tallest building ever constructed, taller now than the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world in Dubai, which is 2,717 feet. So it's possible that 2,500 years before the birth of Christ, they built the tallest structure ever made.
The structure, standing at about 6 meters high, was built with hand-hewn stones, some weighing hundreds of kilograms. Dating back approximately 2,200 years, this monumental find is shedding new light on the Hellenistic period, when Ptolemaic and Seleucid rulers controlled the land. Initially thought to be a tomb, further investigation has revealed that the structure was likely a fortress or tower, possibly designed to guard a key trade route linking Edom and Gaza. It may have also played a role in collecting taxes from travelers. Alongside the pyramid, a wealth of artifacts has been uncovered. These include Greek papyrus scrolls, bronze coins from the Ptolemaic and Seleucid periods, and wooden tools, all preserved thanks to the dry climate of the desert.
היובש הקיצוני שימר פה את הדברים בצורה מדהימה. אנחנו מוצאים פרטי פפירוסים, כל מיני כלי עץ מדהימים, כל מיני סלים וחבלים שלא מוצאים בשום מקום אחר.
ממש אפשר לזהות אותיות כנראה ביוונית. מאוד מאוד מרגש למצוא משהו שבמצב שימור נפלא.
This excavation is part of an 8-year effort led by the Israel Antiquities Authority to protect and preserve antiquities in the region from looting and natural degradation. Volunteers from across Israel have been invited to participate in this groundbreaking project, contributing to the discovery of rare items and artifacts. As the excavation continues, more answers are expected to emerge. What is clear, however, is the enormous historical significance of this site. The discoveries are reshaping our understanding of the Judean desert's role in ancient times. With Passover approaching, Israelis are invited to join this journey of discovery in the Judean desert, where history comes to life.
Let's play devil's advocate for a second. What if the Italian team are actually onto something? What if there really is a hidden city under Khafre's pyramid? What if the Hall of Records exists and is packed with secrets? Secrets that could change everything we know about ancient Egypt. History is full of examples of big discoveries being ignored, downplayed, or outright suppressed. Of course, this is the kind of thinking that keeps late-night radio shows in business, but admit it, a part of you wants it to be true. For now, Malanga's research hasn't been peer-reviewed, and until other scientists can confirm his findings, skepticism is the name of the game. Plus, the tech he used is cool but not infallible, and honestly, getting down there to check is easier said than done. Yet, there's something undeniably exciting about the idea. The pyramids have been around for 4,500 years. Who's to say they don't still have a few secrets? Until someone cracks open the earth beneath Khafre's pyramid, all we have are questions and a whole lot of speculation. Because if there's one thing ancient Egypt teaches us, it's that secrets are buried deep. Could the Hall of Records be one of those mythic treasures, or just another legend lost to time? We don't know yet.
Hello, Ashley. Please don't knock this down. Say it's possible.
My role is sort of the representative of the Order of the Wet Blanket, really, aren't I? So come on and sort of say.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose, in their defence, that they are sort of adopting new technology to an old problem. It's very easy for scholars to get these sort of paradigms of thought where you accept sort of the conventional wisdom, and then you sort of tend to be resistant to any challenges to that. And certainly over the last 10, 15 years, lots of discoveries have, further back really, have sort of reversed what we used to think about how human societies have changed over time. So there used to be the view that you'd have the very simple hunter-gatherer societies, then they adopted farming, then they adopted cities, and essentially you couldn't really do anything too complicated in terms of massive building structures until you developed quite large centres of population. And a lot of that has been proved to be untrue. I mean, those famous discoveries of the famous site of Göbekli Tepe, which is this large structure of megaliths which date to about 10,000 BC. So, a long basic way of saying, well, why not? The trouble is, again, it's the evidence that's used for this. I mean, it's these engineers who are sort of using this new technology, synthetic aperture radar Doppler tomography, and they've been using it quite extensively. So they've been using it to look at the three great pyramids. They basically did some research at the Khufu pyramid, and then they've been looking at the central pyramid where they found all these. They claim to have found all these structures underneath. Now, pyramids elsewhere in the world do have underground structures which have been excavated and are being excavated. The most famous example, I mean, the Daily Mail article, there's a chap from Denver who mentions this. This is what, when I saw the story, immediately sort of struck me. So there's a famous city called Teotihuacan.
I've been there. I've been there.
Fantastic. I mean, three massive great pyramids there. Pyramid of the Moon, Pyramid of the Sun, Pyramid of the Feathered Serpent. And under each of them, you have these quite extensive caverns. And again, over the last 5 years, they found more and more of these. So we shouldn't necessarily assume, well, how could they possibly have constructed these, given that they lived in these sort of very relatively straightforward, simple societies? They wouldn't have the technology. Even the building of the pyramids themselves is a remarkable achievement. We only see the inside of them, really. And the fact that the limestones on the outside were sort of so carefully engineered to fit together. But as always, if you look at the pictures, I mean, I can sort of see where they're coming from. There's clearly something underneath there, but to elaborate that into this idea of very precise measurements in terms of the depth of it, to call the word city And what do we mean by city? City.
I think city is it's not a tube system underneath a city, but it says, as I say, it's got these huge 8 enormous vertical columns that they say plunge to an extraordinary depth of 2,125 feet. Let me tell you, actually, that ancient civilization definitely existed because it's confirmed 57 times a day on Facebook. But here's the thing, though. The Sphinx, the other part of this big theory, that perhaps we don't know, or the mystery of the pyramids and the Sphinx has yet to be explained. This same people who come up with the theory of the underground city say that the Sphinx may be like 10,000 years old, much older than we think, because they say that the marks on the stone, the sandstone, could only have been formed by torrential rain, and there hasn't been torrential rain in Egypt for 10,000 years.